Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Beatrice and today I'm going to show you how to make eggplant parmesan. This is a very quick and simple recipe. It takes about, from start to finish, about 35 to 40 minutes from prep all the way to eating. So let's go ahead and get started. Over here I have my eggplant that I have already cut up, and I'm sitting it here on a rack because eggplant is very spongy and very watery. So what I did to draw out some of the moisture was just sprinkle a little bit of pink salt, Himalayan pink salt on it. If you don't have Himalayan pink salt, it's fine. You can just use regular salt or whatever salt you want. When picking out an eggplant, you want something with a nice purple and black color, nice and shiny. You don't want it to have any blemishes, any streaks, any dents, because it's been through some things, it's been roughed up a bit. Also, you want to check the top, the stem part of the eggplant. You want to make sure it's dark in a rich green color. If it's brownish, it's been kind of old. Also, you want to pick a small eggplant. I know you want to get bigger because bigger seems better, but actually it's not. You want something that's just been freshly harvested. So you want to get something small, but that's heavy for its size, okay? Also, if you're buying it and you don't want to make it right away, you go ahead and stick it in a plastic bag and put it in your fridge. It should last good for about 5 days. Okay, all right. My ingredients, I have oat flour. Oat flour I use in a lot of things. And oat flour is something that you can make. You don't have to buy in the store. Well, you have to buy the oatmeal in the store, but buying oat flour can be pretty expensive. So you can buy a container of oatmeal. And I use my NutriBullet a lot, and you just put it in the NutriBullet and you grind it up. In less than a minute, you have oat flour. Don't worry, it doesn't taste like oatmeal at the end of the recipe. At the end, when you're done cooking, it tastes really, really great. Also, I have two whole eggs, 2 large eggs that I've beaten lightly. And I also have 3/4 cup of panko and 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs. I like to use the two together. Usually I use panko by itself because panko is very crispy and crunchy, and that's the kind of texture that I want. I also have my favorite pasta sauce. I have shredded mozzarella, low moisture part skim mozzarella. I have Parmesan cheese, and I have low moisture part skim mozzarella cheese. All right, let's start breading. And I also have my oven preheated at 400 degrees. Okay, now first we're gonna dip our eggplant in our oat flour. Make sure you get all parts of it. I know some people like to eat it with the skin, but since my kids would also be eating this, I took the skin off. If you don't, that's fine. Either way, whatever. So your breading station, oat flour, eggs, and your breadcrumbs and panko. Without this, this won't stick. So you're gonna have really difficult time trying to get your breading to stick to your eggplant without first coating it with your flour. If you don't want to use oat flour, that's fine. You can use almond flour, you can use chickpea flour, but I have oat flour in my house, so that's what I'm using. So you're gonna go from there to here and make sure you just want to put it in. You don't want to use your fingers right away because you don't want to get messy fingers. Once it's coated, then you can go ahead and use your hands. See, just that simple. Once this is done, I'm gonna go ahead and bread the rest of this, and I'm gonna pop this in the oven. But before I do that, once I'm done, some people like to pan fry their eggplant. I don't. I like to just bake it. So once they're all breaded, what I do is I take my cooking spray and I just lightly spray it and bake it. All right, so I'm gonna finish this up, and I'm gonna throw these in the oven for about 25 minutes or so, just to get that nice and crispy, crunchy flavor. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I just wanted to show you the end result, what it looks like after the breading. Remember, the breading is oat flour or whatever flour you're using, oat flour, egg wash, and your panko and breadcrumbs. Now, this is what it looks like. If you can get a little closer. Hopefully you can see that without a shadow. Nice and thick. I cut mine, I'd say about 1/2 inch thick. or so. Like I said, you can do it with or without the skin, but my kids prefer without the skin. Once you're done, you just take your cooking spray and you just lightly spray it. Again, some people like to put pan fry. I don't. I want to take out the oil or take out the moisture. I don't want to add in and get that greasy taste, all right? So I'm just gonna pop these in the oven. Oven is just set at 400 degrees and I'll be right back, all right? I am back. I put my eggplants in the oven after I breaded them. They were in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, just well enough so it can brown a bit. See? And when you put it on a rack, if you don't have a rack, that's fine. You can just put it directly on your baking sheet. I put parchment paper underneath. It's just for easy cleanup, nothing special. You don't really need it if you don't want to. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like really, really, really crunchy. And I love that. So let's go ahead and start layering this eggplant parmesan. You want to completely coat the bottom with your pasta sauce. You can use whatever pasta sauce you want. Sometimes I like to cut up my eggplants into cubes, but that's after I'm done breading it and baking it, simply for quick eating, so I don't have to go through the cutting, especially if I'm making it for my kids. Now, layering is about the sauce at the bottom. Then you put your eggplants. You're gonna add a little more sauce on top, just a little bit. You don't want to put too much because you don't want it to get soggy. And I have my mozzarella cheese. I'm doubling it up, so I have 6 slices. If you don't like cheese, that's fine, but I do. So I guess I should have got more. A little more sauce on top. And you're gonna add your Parmesan. And then we go back to layering the eggplant. Again, this is just one eggplant that I'm using. Make sure it's just one layer. You want to make sure that it's completely flat, all right? And I'm gonna add the rest of my pasta sauce. I don't want to, again, not too much. You don't want it to be soggy. And since basically this is already cooked, when you're putting it in the oven, you're simply just melting the cheese. That's all you want to do. I'm gonna add my shredded cheese. My shredded mozzarella. I'm getting a little too excited. I'm dropping stuff all over the place. Don't pay no attention to me. And your last bit of Parmesan cheese. Now, back in the oven this goes for about another 15 minutes or so. In the oven, 400 degrees. I'll be right back. And I just took my eggplant Parmesan out of the oven. It was in the oven for about 15 minutes. And then I put it on the top rack. And I broiled it because I wanted to get my cheese a little brown. As you can see, just very quick. Because like I said, it's already cooked. Remember it was baking, so after we breaded it. So all we were really doing was melting the cheese. So now, now that my cheese has melted and it's time to eat, let me go ahead and get a slice out. Woohoo, that burns. Oh, look how cheesy that is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That looks so good. Let's add a little bit of parsley. And let's dig in. Look at that nice layer. And it's still a bit crunchy. Like I said, sometimes I do cut it into cubes for my kids so they can have it and eat it a lot easier. Oh my God, it smells so good. Sorry, very good, very, very good. Again, my ingredients For my breading station, your breading station should consist of 3 things. Your oat flour or whatever flour you want to use to coat the eggplant, your egg wash, and I had 3/4 cup of panko and 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs mixed all together. Eggplant with or without the skin, just make sure you check it for dents, scratches, any marks, no browning, something nice and shiny, small but heavy in size. Your favorite pasta sauce is what you're gonna layer the bottom of your pan with. Then you're gonna top it with your eggplants, your mozzarella cheese, your Parmesan cheese, again your eggplant, and again some more sauce, your Parmesan cheese, more eggplant again, your pasta sauce, shredded mozzarella, and once again your Parmesan cheese. Bake for 15 minutes, broil for about 2 to 3 minutes. Monitor, remember please do not broil for more than 5 minutes. You will have a burnt product. Okay, and basically that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to continue eating because I'm hungry. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share my video, and please tune in for more healthy recipes from me. Bye.